It's time for another tier list. Did you guys know there has not been a no-hitter in baseball this year? It kind of feels weird. Kind of feels like we're guaranteed for one every year, especially with this whole combined no-hitter nonsense. And with no no-hitters means no no-hitter saving plays, which is basically the most iconic part of a no-hitter. Every good no-hitter needs a play that completely saves it. And you know what they say, when you have plenty of a single good thing, you ought to rank them, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. This is the official no-hitter saving play tier list, which really just rolls off the tongue well, you know? I picked out 32 plays from no-hitters throughout MLB history. I do have some parameters. I didn't do any combined no-hitters. I am a staunch adversary of the Kono. I also only selected plays from no-hitters that were completed. There were plenty of great plays made in no-hitters that didn't get to the finish line, and I thought, what's really the point of ranking them if those plays were unfortunately for naught? You guys can disagree with my ground rules, and you really like to, in the comment section down below. I encourage it. I encourage all discussion. We have 5 tiers on today's list. We're going to work from the top down. Mount Rushmore, I'm going to try and limit it to my 4 favorite plays on this list. Steak dinner. The pitcher saw this play, realized how lucky he was. He needs to go buy his fielder a steak dinner, and an expensive one too. Dugout hug. It's a little bit of a step below steak dinner, but still you show your appreciation for a play like this one. Then I have my 4th tier, which might have a weird name in your mind. 2013 to 2014 Andrelton Simmons. These are great plays and no-hitters that Andrelton Simmons back in 2013 and 2014 would have made with his eyes closed. They're still great plays, but that's just his bread and butter. And then number 5, Dude Perfect meme. You guys all know the meme I'm talking about. Come on. It's that one. A great play isn't a great play without a dive, right? We got 33 plays to go through, so let's get right into today's list. If you enjoy it, leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Here we go. Our first play comes on this ground ball from the 2004 perfect game thrown by none other than Randy Johnson. I slightly deduct this one because it is against an opposing pitcher in Mike Hampton. Here comes Alex Cintrone at shortstop. Glove fires, gets him by a stride. It is a good play. Nothing super elite about this, but still a crucial play made at a crucial time, like all these plays will be. For me, this one can pretty easily go in 2013 to 2014 Andrelton Simmons. It wasn't in a late inning. It wasn't against a mighty ferocious hitter, although Mike Hampton amongst pitchers, pretty good hitter. And the play itself wasn't all that flashy. It was just a nice clean play made by a good MLB shortstop. It'll go in our 4th tier. Up next is this diving catch made in Anibal Sanchez's no-hitter in 2006 for the Florida Marlins, made by none other than Josh Willingham, who's definitely more known for his bat than his glove. A pretty nice play. But honestly, I think if you have a better defensive left fielder out there or just better positioning, it's not even a diving play. It might just be a running play. It's a little bit Dude Perfect meme. I think a lot of other left fielders make that play kind of easily. And there's going to be a lot of good plays on today's list, so we need to be kind of picky with what we put in those top tiers. I'm going to put this one in Dude Perfect meme. It's a nice, solid diving catch. Up next is this play made by 2007 Rookie of the Year Dustin Pedroia to save Clay Buchholz's no-hitter, who was also a rookie that year. And this is a play that Pedroia became iconic for, just snaring ground balls that would be base hits and then firing with his surprisingly good arm at second base. Late in the game, kind of 7th inning, we're down to the final 9 outs. I think that adds to the leverage of the moment. Buchholz narrowly misses the ball right there. He could have gloved it, could have kicked off his glove, and that also could have ended the no-hitter. Takes pretty much full extension from him here, snares it, and then he's going to have to get his legs under him immediately, turn his body 180 degrees, and fire as fast as he can a bullet to Kevin Youkilis. Miguel Tejada dives, which I think just adds to the flair of the play, and he gets him by a foot, maybe less. I think we became spoiled with Dustin Pedroia's defense throughout his career, and he made plays like this one look normal for him. I'm going to put it in dugout hug. I definitely think it's a step above the previous 2 plays and easily the best play we've watched so far. Up next is this nifty play up the middle made in Justin Verlander's first no-hitter against the Milwaukee Brewers in 2007. 5 outs to go in this no-hitter. Nice nifty play by the shortstop. Behind the back toss. They get the double play. This one's fielded pretty awkwardly by the shortstop. He gloves it here when he's still on his feet. His momentum kind of carries him over and makes him stumble, which turns this into a highlight reel play. He didn't need to be in this position in the first place, but still the behind the back flare, throwing across the body. Placido Polanco right there making it look easy, and they get him by a stride. This play is good. I'm going to put it in 2013-14 Andrelton Simmons. I don't even think Simmons would stumble over in that case, but then again, that's kind of what makes the play special. Up next is another diving play made by a young Red Sox future legend. This time it's Jacoby Ellsbury laying out to save John Lester's no-no against the Kansas City Royals. And you can really see how easy Jacoby Ellsbury used to just cover so much ground in a flash. It's not the flashiest play, but it's also not the easiest play. And if that doesn't earn you a dugout hug, I don't know what will. All right, here we go. Now we're into the first real part of the good stuff. This is Dwayne Wise's home run robbery to preserve Mark Buehrle's perfect game in 2009. You always got to give Ozzie Guillen some credit here because just 4 pitches prior to this, Dwayne Wise wasn't even in the game. He was a defensive substitute in the top of the 9th. Buehrle's deep into this game at this point. He's got a 2-strike count, kind of throws a lazy breaking ball. Dwayne Wise into a full sprint backwards right up to the wall, insane vertical, bobbles the ball on the come down, maintains it, rolls over. This is the cream of the crop. This is as good as it gets, folks. And that ball is decently high up. That ball is gonna go if he's not there. Gloves the ball right here. You can almost see it like peeking out. It's snow coned right here. Wise lands on his left foot. That shock of the landing begins to rattle the ball around in his glove. The ball is out right here. The ball is out. I don't know if they'd call that transfer or what. Thankfully, they don't need to make the call because he's able to corral it with his bare hand, shove it back into the glove, and roll and keep the hand up right there, totally preserving the catch. This one I knew from the beginning how to spot in Mount Rushmore. It's just a matter of what catches and plays will end up joining it by the end of this list. This catch certainly has a try, though. Up next is Aaron Rowan's jumping into the wall catch to preserve Jonathan Sanchez's no-hitter in 2009. Fun fact, the very first video I made on this channel was about this no-hitter. It's called The Forgotten No-Hitter, and it's very bad, but if you go to my oldest video, you'll be able to find it and watch it and see just how far we've come on this channel. Sanchez's no-hitter is unfortunately so forgotten because a couple weeks later, Mark Buehrle threw his perfect game that we just talked about. But it was almost for naught. 1 out in the 9th inning. This ball is rocked to center field, and look who it is. Aaron Rowan making the catch out in center field. Not the most iconic catch of Aaron Rowan's career because he had the running backwards catch in Philadelphia against the Mets, but this catch is close to it. He's not even at no doubles depth. He's well short of the warning track and has to basically do a turnaround full body sprint just to get to this ball. Catch made, 1 out away from a no-hitter that would eventually be completed. I think this one is only slightly dinged because it's not a home run robbery, and that would have added to the cool factor a little bit. And plus, Mount Rushmore, it's going to be competitive to get up there, guys, but this one's fully a steak dinner. I want to thank today's sponsor, Mumu. Have you seen that big orange bowl that's been making Mondays at Citi Field all the more exciting? Well, that would be Mumu. If you're anything like me, you likely love baseball stats, analysis, and research, and that's part of the reason why I like Mumu so much as well. It's an investing app that brings the same approach to the stock market. They've got professional grade tools and premium research that other companies charge a hefty premium for, all for free when you become a Mumu customer. And thanks to Mumu's new partnership with the New York Mets, as a Mumu customer, we can all get free tickets to every Monday home game for the rest of the season at Citi Field, all season long. Not to mention Mumu Millions, where if the Mets are able to win 100 games this year, one lucky Mumu customer will win $1 million. They've already given away $10,000 for 25 wins and $20,000 for 50 wins, and before long, someone will be getting $30,000 for 75 wins. But as much as we love baseball, Mumu's #1 priority is jumpstarting your investing journey. They're giving all my viewers up to $1,000 in Nvidia stock just for making a qualified deposit. Just go to start.mumu.com/jolly, scan the QR code on the screen, or click the link in the description to start with Mumu today. But now, let's get back to baseball. Up next is Kevin Kuzmanov barreling into the dugout in Oakland to preserve Dallas Braden's perfect game in 2010. Braden is 5 outs away from completing the perfect game. He's got Carlos Pena up on the very first pitch of the at-bat. He jams him and gets him to pop up to the left side. Oakland has that massive foul territory. Kevin Kuzmanov, no regard for his body, goes flinging into the dugout, comes out no worse for wear, and gloves the ball for good measure. Kuzmanov made a ton of great plays in this perfect game. He's kind of the unsung hero of this game itself. He's not even hugging the line when he initially starts his sprint to get there. He gets to the edge pretty quickly, finds where he is able to look back up at the ball and make sure he makes the catch while still in the field of play. Because remember, if he starts his jump too early and then catches the ball, it doesn't count. He needs to have some sort of grounding in fair play, and he has it by the slightest of margins because the ball's in his glove right here, and the top of his cleat is basically on the dugout steps. Hope for dear life no one gets hurt. Shout out to his good teammates for catching him here. I believe that's a young Kurt Suzuki. I could be wrong about that. Look at that smile. So happy to have made the play. That's the guy you want behind you when you're throwing a perfect game, for sure. This play is awesome, and plays that involve some sort of injury risk are always going to get an added bonus from me. This one's going to go on steak dinner, man. Put his body on the line. He deserves that steak dinner. I'm hoping Dallas Braden bought it for him. Dallas, if you somehow see this, please let me know. Up next is a leaping catch in right field from Ben Zobrist to preserve Matt Garza's no-hitter against the Detroit Tigers in 2010. Garza is pretty early on in this one. He's looking for the out against the 9-hitter. Here goes Zobrist into right field. Perfect extension on that jump, barrel roll after, and runs it off like it's nothing. Look how athletic this play is. Look how far up he gets to catch this ball. I mean, he's at the apex of his jump right here, I want to say. Needs every inch of that vertical to make that play. Zobrist is no worse for wear. This one's kind of earlier in the game. It's against a lesser hitter, so I don't think the leverage and the impact of the catch is as felt compared to some of these other plays, but it's still a great play. It's going to go and dugout hug. Up next is the final play of the 2010 playoff no-hitter by Roy Halladay. The play was made by Chooch, Carlos Ruiz. Brandon Phillips is up to bat to end game one of this playoff game. Roy Halladay's first playoff start. He gets the soft grounder. This is sneaky, a really tough and scary play, and Carlos Ruiz makes it look so easy because he was such a defensive whiz. I think this play was definitely the highlight reel play. So you got to watch where Brandon Phillips's bat lands in this sequence. He gets that chopper running hard of the box because that's what that dude does. The bat lands in fair territory and the ball rattles on it. It hits the base of the bat right there and is sort of taking this weird spin. So Chooch actually overruns the ball initially because he thinks it's going to keep going forward, and it ends up just like kind of riding alongside the bat. He stops his body, so now he has no momentum going forward. He has to lean to his right and still get enough mustard on this ball to beat Brandon Phillips. Not to mention Phillips is running on the infield grass, impairing Ruiz's vision for this throw. So this is an incredibly difficult throw that easily could have gotten away from Ruiz, and instead it's a dot. Right to Ryan Howard, no-hitter complete. Phillies obviously win that series. This play is awesome. It's going to go in dugout hug because literally right after the play, Carlos Ruiz and Roy Halladay have a really sweet hug. I think that's wonderful. Up next is a diving play in center field to preserve Ubaldo Jimenez's no-hitter, the first no-hitter in Colorado Rockies history. Catch was made by none other than Dexter Fowler. Remember when he was a Colorado Rocky? Jimenez is facing a pretty good Braves lineup here. He's deep into this one, 7th inning. Dexter Fowler was shaded to the right, clears so much ground to make that diving play right there. Look how far shaded over Dexter Fowler is. He's basically straight up center field, if not a little bit towards right center, and has to get all the way to the gap in left field. The fact that he's able to get there with a foot still on the ground, not even leaving the ground yet, it's pretty remarkable. Another solid diving catch. This one's also going to go in dugout hug. Not too much else to say outside of that. Up next is this neat play made by Howie Kendrick and Irvin Santana's 2011 no-hitter against Cleveland. This one looks like it's destined for center field. Kendrick just covers a lot of ground, makes a nice slide, and then he's able to get to his feet really quickly and get a strong throw off here by a half a stride to get Jason Kipnis at first, which would have ended the no-hitter in the 6th inning. I think if you've been paying attention, you know where this one goes. This is an Andrelton Simmons type play, man. Up next is this athletic play made by third baseman Danny Valencia to preserve Francisco Liriano's no-hitter in 2011 against the White Sox. 7 outs to go in this one. Carlos Quentin up at the dish. Minnesota still only nursing a 1-0 lead. Here comes Danny Valencia snaring the ball in foul territory, firing Manny Machado style across the diamond. A perfect throw to get Carlos Quentin at first base. Quentin's obviously not the fastest runner, but still, you got to look where Valencia ends up after fielding this ball. Valencia, once he gathers himself, he's not even on the dirt of the infield anymore, and then he just fires, and this thing is absolutely perfect. It's a good stride by Morneau to make sure that they get the out, but it's a dime. It's a dime by Danny Valencia. Danny Dimes. Or is that someone else? It might not be the flashiest play. It's going to go in 2013, 2014, Andrelton Simmons. Up next is Justin Verlander doing it himself in 2011. Ferocious power hitter Edwin Encarnacion lines one right at Verlander. He deflects it with his body and fires to first on a bounce, gloved by Miguel Cabrera. This one has a ton of moving parts. First off, shout out Verlander, tough as nails as always. Fastball right down the middle, liner right up the middle. Verlander doesn't cower. He goes to block the ball with his body and was able to do so. 97-mile-per-hour heater going in. Can't imagine how fast it was coming out. Then it's a mad dash for the ball. It's pretty much in the middle of Avila and Verlander takes charge. He's the one that gets there first. We know how pitchers are with PFPs sometimes, how hard it is to just throw the baseball to a base. Hits right around the shaded area of the turf there, and it's not grass, so you're not going to get any easy Sunday hop. It's going to come in hot. Miguel Cabrera is able to glove it, protect it, and that's an out. Pretty impressive play here by Justin Verlander, doing it all himself. You can't give a dugout hug to yourself, so I will put this one in 2013, 2014 Andrelton Simmons. Up next is another diving play to preserve a perfect game. This time it's Matt Cain in 2012, who had to look to the skies and thank Gregor Blanco for saving his gem. Matt Cain had one of the best pitched games in Giants history on this night. This one is rocked to center field, though, deep in the gap. Here comes Gregor Blanco laying out full extension onto the warning track. Dirty jersey and all, stands up, shows off the ball. 1 out in the 7th inning. Blanco starts at basically a normal depth in right field, has to sprint all the way backwards, and that dive is fully necessary right there. Off balance, sticking the glove out for dear life, and he just is able to snow cone it to preserve a perfect game. Then has to go full out diving onto the warning track, which probably does not feel very good. This one's one of my favorites. I definitely think this is one of the most impressive plays on the list. I'm gonna put it in the Mount Rushmore because it's a perfect game, not a no-hitter. I think that adds to it. It's another one that's late in the game. Gregor Blanco could have gone crashing into the wall head first. There was injury risk. I just think this is a real heroic type play that every great no-hitter / perfect game has a play like this one. Up next is Johan Santana's 2012 no-hitter against the Cardinals, where the New York kid in left field, Mike Baxter, crashes into the wall to save it all. This one is rocked by Yadier Molina, who's ruined the lives of Mets fans in the past. Baxter gets turned around, gloves the ball, crashes hard into the WB Mason ad on the wall. Baxter's honestly decently far back, but this ball is just hit so hard by Yadi that even now he's still late getting to the spot. His route of getting there also isn't perfect. He has to extend the glove outward just to make the play here. He's already going full speed at this point. He has no choice but to crash into the wall, sputters to the ground, but maintains control of the ball, and that's going to be a heroic catch for Mike Baxter. This one's a great play in its own right. I'm going to put it in steak dinner because I'm really hoping that someone bought this kid a steak dinner, because that looked like it hurt, man. And he ended up saving the no-hitter in the end. Also, I better not see a single comment about no foul line. Ball don't lie. It's a no-hitter, all right? Fight me. Come on. Let's go. Me and you, right now. Up next is this heady play made by Joey Votto to preserve Homer Bailey's no-hitter in 2013. Buster Posey is down 0-2 in the count. He flares one to the right side. Joey Votto realizes that Homer Bailey is not going to be able to cover first in time, looks up and sees a runner caught between second and third. Hey, it's Gregor Blanco, the guy we just talked about. He's tagged out in the rundown. Of all the plays on this list, it's probably the least flashy, but also it's the most smart. Like, Votto gets the ball right here. Posey recognizes that he's going to beat Bailey to the bag. He's got his head up right here. He sees Votto. It looks like they're making eye contact, and Posey's going to run hard down the line here. Very clearly going to win that foot race. Blanco kind of got caught in between because this was a flared line drive, so he's stuck there. He honestly should have just went back to the base, and it would have been a guaranteed hit. Instead, he sees the eye contact made by Votto and Posey and decides, oh, I'm going to break because he's not going to pay attention to me. So he breaks in that moment, and then instantly, as soon as he breaks, Votto turns his head, sees him breaking. Blanco has no choice but to commit to the decision he made, and he's a dead duck. Really smart play on the infield. You know who else would do that? Andrelton Simmons. That's the tier it'll go in. I really like that play. Up next is Hunter Pence laying out to save Tim Lincecum's no-hitter against the Padres in 2013. John Boy Media and I actually did a video recently with Hunter Pence. He's a really cool dude. It's over on Warehouse Challenges. You should go check it out. Alexi Amarista at the plate, golfs one into right field. Here comes Hunter Pence laying out to make a very good catch, and the celebration after is awesome. Fist pump. Pence reads it the whole way. His first step is in. He's instantly bolting to the ball. The slide kind of looks a little clumsy, but it's definitely necessary as he goes down to a knee here. And it's just before the ball hits the ground too. I mean, if Pence breaks late or breaks back first, he doesn't make this play. It gets to the wall and the no-hitter's over. Instead, he's able to glove it and celebrates immediately. This one's awesome. He could have dislocated his shoulder. That was a pretty awkward dive. I'll give this one steak dinner. I think it's a really good play. And I love the flair for the dramatic that Pence has in that play. It's awesome. Up next is this solid play made by Miguel Rojas in 2014 for Clayton Kershaw as he preserved his no-hitter against the Rockies. Dodgers had plenty of good infield defense in this game. I think this was the best play of all. Very similar to Danny Valencia's play in Francisco Liriano's no-hitter. The only difference in this play is that Tulo is going to be a much faster runner down the line compared to Carlos Quentin, so Miguel Rojas has to hurry this play all the much more, which is why you get a little bit of a less perfect throw, but still, really nice play here, really good footwork, and then Adrian Gonzalez with the nice catch on the short hop to put the cherry on top. Solid fundamental play on the infield there, not too flashy. I'm going to put this one in 2013 to 2014 Andrelton Simmons. Up next is the final out of Jordan Zimmermann's 2014 no-hitter on the final game of the season against the Miami Marlins. On his 104th pitch of the day, Christian Yelich rocks this one to the gap against Jordan Zimmermann, and oh, here comes Steven Souza Jr. with an unbelievable diving play on the liner to end the no-hitter. The thing I love about this play is that the route Souza takes is so short to the ball that by the time he reaches the area he needs to be in, the ball is over his head. It looks like just for a moment that this ball is going to get right past him. Almost looks like a faceplant completely. I love this play a lot. I think it gets added bonus points because it ended the no-hitter, which makes it all the more cool in my mind. It's going to go on my Mount Rushmore. Up next is the final play made in Cole Hamels' 2015 no-hitter against the Chicago Cubs and what would become his final start as a Philadelphia Philly. 3-2 pitch, 129 pitches deep. Chris Bryant, who's going to win Rookie of the Year, rocks it to center field, and Odubel Herrera overruns the ball and has to completely turn around, plunge to the ground, and just stick his glove out there hoping for the best. It ends up being a game-winning no-hitter saving catch. Odubel rightfully goes all the way back to the fence, and all of a sudden the Chicago skies just make this ball die completely at the warning track. My favorite part of this play is the moment of realization that comes as soon as Odubel gets to his spot, because he's right here and he's thinking, oh, wait a minute, that's not going to get to me, and it's falling fast. Basically, his body just melts at that point. He sticks the glove out on the ground. This ball falls into his glove, somehow doesn't bounce out, and in the cloud of dust, you can see his fist emerge. I got it. The no-hitter's intact. Now, I know I just mentioned that Steven Souza's catch made it to the top because it ended a no-hitter, and this one does as well, but also part of what makes this play so entertaining is that it was a mistake. Odubel Herrera misjudged the ball completely and had to lay out to make the catch. So for that reason and that reason only, I am going to put this one in stake dinner. I know that Steven Souza's route wasn't perfect, which led to his dive, whereas this catch by Herrera was definitely more of a catastrophic mistake. I don't know. You be the judge. I definitely think it's one of the most impressive, but also the only reason it happens is because there was an error by the center fielder. Up next is this over-the-shoulder catch made by Kyle Seager to preserve Hisashi Iwakuma's no-hitter against the Orioles in the 9th inning back in 2015. On pitch number 112, Iwakuma induces the pop-up. Here comes Kyle Seager running full speed into foul territory. He thinks he's going to go crashing into the stands, but no, the ball dies right before it, and he's able to curve his glove and his body to ensure that he has that ball. This one for sure looks like he's going to go flinging himself into the stands, but he just is able to stop his body so short and almost do like a 90-degree turn at the last second to corral this ball. I wonder what it looked like in the moment, if any wind took it whatsoever, or if it was just a misjudging of the ball initially by Kyle Seager that he was able to correct. But either way, it makes for a very entertaining play. This one will get you a sigh of relief and a dugout hug. Very impressive play here. Up next is the infamous 2015 no-hitter by Max Scherzer that probably should have been a perfect game. Jose Tabata, Nats fans are still looking for you, man. It's on site. Always. It's on site, baby. Gregory Polanco hits the flare on that curveball. It goes to the left side. Here comes Anthony Rendon, makes the catch, nearly flings himself into the dugout and holds on to the ball. Now, I know he didn't do it on purpose, but this one is a little goofy looking because here's where Rendon catches the ball. About a good, 6 feet from the fence minimum, and then I think it's just his momentum that kind of carries over and he's able to fling himself right over halfway. Again, I want to say that none of these plays are easy, but I have to kind of judge them on a scale of each other, and this play is definitely a little bit lesser in my mind than some of the other ones we've talked about. And you know what? Josh Willingham, he needs some company in Dude Perfect, man. He needs a friend. So Anthony Rendon's going to be his friend. I'm sorry, Nats fans. I gave you the top tier and I gave you the bottom tier. Up next is the 2018 no-hitter by James Paxton, and wouldn't you know, it involves our friend Kyle Seager yet again. Kevin Pillar is going to smoke that 2-2 fastball. Kyle Seager lays out, flings the throw like it's nothing, and gets the out on one hop. This is a really impressive play. It saves a double from down the line, and a really difficult play made look so easy by Kyle Seager. Seager has all of a second to react to this ball and fully lay out to prevent it from going down the line, which would have guaranteed to end the no-hitter. Slings the throw sidearm style, makes it look so pretty on a perfect hop to make it as easy as possible for his first baseman. People don't talk enough about how good Kyle Seager was defensively in his career. This is, I think, an infield play that is a step above routine for Andrelton Simmons. I think this is even a flashy play for him. So I'm going to put this one in dugout hug because I think it definitely earned some dugout hugs after the play was made. Up next, we have this 2019 home run robbery made to preserve Mike Fiers' no-hitter against the Cincinnati Reds. Up just 1 run in the 6th inning. This could have tied the game. Joey Votto rocks that curveball to left center field. Ramon Laureano has a beat on it, times his jump perfectly, robs the home run, prevents the no-hitter from ending right there, and Mike Fiers, of course, would take it the distance. Never takes his eyes off the ball, fully just knows where the wall is at this point, times the jump perfectly, apex of his jump. That's how you know a catch is good. When the fielder reaches the apex of their jump and that's when the ball hits the glove, that's how you know it's perfectly timed, and that's a crazy good catch. We put Dwayne Wise up here before for his own home run robbery. It only feels right to give Ramon Laureano the same treatment. I know it's not the 9th inning. I know it's a little bit less of a memorable no-hitter, but that catch is still just as impressive as everything else in the top tier in my mind. Up next is this leaping catch made in left field to preserve Tyler Gilbert's no-hitter, which came in his first major league start in 2021 against the Padres. The cameraman makes this one look like it's going to be a 450-foot moonshot, but there's David Peralta stumbling to the wall in left field to make the catch on Austin Nola. Peralta's definitely not the most gifted defensive left fielder, but he still played a nice left field for many years in Arizona. This play right here, it gets a little scary because of where he ends up jumping. He ends up kind of jumping, landing, and then he hits the wall and kind of backs into it, looking very unsure of himself, but flips the ball after for good measure just to look smooth. Could he have timed it better? Absolutely, but the catch was made. That's all that matters. Compared to a lot of the other outfield catches we've seen in this video, this one definitely feels lesser than, and the fact that it's kind of a poorly timed jump, it just makes it perfect for Dude Perfect meme. Sorry, Diamondbacks fans. Up next is Jose Abreu doing the splits in the 9th inning to preserve Carlos Rodon's 2021 no-hitter against the Cleveland Guardians. It's an 0-2 count against Josh Naylor. He rolls one over to the right side. Jose Abreu cuts the ball off here, realizes Rodon's not going to get to the bag, and has to go full extension just to beat Naylor there, who was obviously irate. He thought he had a base hit. I think if Naylor just runs and doesn't slide, he actually might beat this out, and the no-hitter might be for naught. From where Abreu first gets in contact with the ball, it looks like he's going to win this foot race easily, but Naylor, to his credit, got down the line decently quick here, so he's going to have to do the full extension of his leg there. He doesn't have time to slide himself. That looks like it hurts. That right there is a freeze frame that looks like it hurts, but he does get the out, and it's very impressive. Since Jose Abreu should not be doing the splits at that age, I am hoping he got a dugout hug, because he definitely deserved it. It was the 9th inning after all, do or die time for that no-hitter. Up next is a very impressive play in the 7th inning of Spencer Turnbull's 2021 no-hitter against the Seattle Mariners. Mitch Haniger up to the plate, smokes this pitch, but Jeimer Candelario makes a nice grab at third base. Not a lot of reaction time in this one. This ball also takes a pretty funky hop where it basically bounces to eye level for Candelario. It kind of looks like the ball catches him, but it doesn't matter. The play got made, and it is impressive. This one is a perfect candidate for 2013 and 2014 Andrelton Simmons. I've seen him do that so many times. Up next is one of our more recent selections. It's Ronel Blanco's no-hitter from 2024, with this play made with 2 outs to go in the 9th inning. Kevin Biggio is up to the plate. He's looking to spoil things. He rips one to the right side. Here's Jose Abreu yet again. No time to get to the bag, but he's able to make a sprawling stop and then a throw from his butt to first base. The dive was necessary. It's not too flashy. It'll go in our nice little infield defense category. Up next is this basket catch in Dylan Cease's 2024 no-hitter against the Washington Nationals. Juan Yepes is going to dunk this one into short center field. Out goes Xander Bogaerts. It's only his ball to get, and he's able to make the play. Oh, he juggles it to Jackson Merrill. Good on Merrill for being aware, and that time Merrill never takes his eye off the ball, so that when Bogaerts juggles it to keep it alive because it kind of falls in no man's land, there's an opportunity for Jackson Merrill to make the play. It looks like a circus routine that these two practiced, and they got it on camera for the first time. Dugout hugs for everybody on that one. I don't know. I think if you gave them 100 more tries, they wouldn't be able to recreate that play. Up next is Rusty Greer laying out to save the day on Kenny Rogers' perfect game in 1994. This play is iconic in Major League history. Just such a fundamental diving play that I'm sure T-ball kids everywhere tried to emulate on balls that they shouldn't be diving for. Greer's able to cut off his right fielder who's going back to back up, and he goes full extension on this dive, and it just makes it so satisfying to watch. This highlight is one that I've watched so many times throughout the years. It's one of my favorite catches ever. It's not incredibly impressive compared to the Mount Rushmore, which I think is pretty much solidified at this point. I'm going to put it right below. I'm going to put it in steak dinner because I hope he got one. Up next is Robin Yount saving the day in center field to preserve the 1987 no-hitter for his teammate Juan Nieves. This play was made to end the no-hitter itself. Robin Yount crosses over, covers a lot of ground. The dive always has kind of looked a little goofy in my mind. It's still a really good play, but when you watch it on replay, if he had just kept running, he gets there. He doesn't need to dive. In fact, the catch is made before the dive even really begins. which makes the dive itself look kind of goofy and such an iconic way to end a no-hitter for the Milwaukee Brewers. I contemplated putting this one in Dude Perfect meme, but I don't think it's a bad catch. I don't think it's like a non-impressive, clunky catch. I think it's a good one. I just don't think it's as impressive as some people make it out to be. Some people call this the greatest no-hitter saving play ever. And this one for me will go in our third tier. I think that's perfectly fine placement for it. Up next is some nifty infield defense from Omar Vizquel to preserve Chris Bosio's no-hitter in 1993 for the Seattle Mariners. This one was made on the final out of the game, ground ball up the middle. No one you'd rather have there than Vizquel back in the day. He barehands the ball on the run, hat flies off, no matter. He makes it look so simple. Vizquel definitely didn't need to barehand this ball. I think he had plenty of time to get the runner, but I guess style points, you get some style points there. So cool infield play. Solid, flashy infield defense. It sounds like it's going in our fourth tier. That makes a lot of sense to me. And there you have it, folks. That is my tier list of these 33 no-hitter / perfect games saving plays. I think I nailed it on this one. I don't think anyone's going to disagree with me. Kidding aside, leave a comment down below and let me know what you would change. If you enjoyed today's video, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to see more tier list content, let me know. Give me an idea. That'll do it for me in this video, and I'll see you guys next time.